become a habit on the part of some to equate India's civilizational, eternal and universal credo, Sanatan Dharma, with discrimination, with an exclusivist outlook, with deep prejudice against others. Most of these attacks come from self-certified and self-proclaimed secular fundamentalists. This is the new fashionable term. I'm a secular fundamentalist. They will tell you, these so-called secular fundamentalists, that those parties that are propagating Sanatan Dharma are turning India into a Hindu Pakistan, a state where only Hindus will be exalted and other Indians treated as third-class citizens. Every excess upon minorities is traced back to the supposed intolerance embedded in the DNA of Sanatana Dharma. That is what is told you. Some people say eradicate it. Get rid of this disease. But at a time when many within the larger saffron parivar are on the defensive due to this campaign of calumny, UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath thankfully has held his nerve and remains steadfast to the Hindu cause, to the Sanatani cause. At a function in Ayodhya, he underlined why the protection and preservation of Sanatan Dharma is essential for world peace. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath says, and I quote him, "If we want to save world human civilization, we must respect Sanatana. We must protect Sanatana. We must save Sanatana." Our sages and philosophers spoke of, quote, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, unquote, thousands of years ago. Among all the religions in the world, Sanatan Dharma is the only one that has given refuge to every faith and religion in times of crisis. Viewers, he goes on to say, but have Hindus received as they have given, unquote. Listen to UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath in his own words, viewers. Listen in closely.
कि अगर विश्व मानवता को बचाना है तो उसका एक ही मार्ग है, वह है सनातन धर्म का सम्मान करो। सनातन धर्म सुरक्षित है तो दुनिया में सब कोई सुरक्षित है। हजारों वर्ष पहले हमारे ऋषियों ने हमें एक ही प्रेरणा दी, अयम निज परोवेति का संदेश दिया है। अयम निज परोवेति गणना लघु चेतसाम उदार चरितानाम तो वसुधैव कुटुम्बकम। और याद करिए, दुनिया के अंदर अकेले सनातन धर्म है जिसने दुनिया की हर जाति, हर मत, हर मजहब, हर संप्रदाय के लोगों को उसकी विपत्ति के समय शरण दे करके संरक्षण दिया है, उसे फलने फूलने का एक अवसर दिया है। लेकिन क्या दुनिया के अंदर ऐसे ही हिंदुओं के साथ भी हो रहा है क्या? ऐसे ही हो रहा है क्या? आज बांग्लादेश में क्या हो रहा है? पाकिस्तान में क्या हुआ था? इससे पहले अफगानिस्तान में क्या हुआ था? मैं पूछना चाहता हूं उन लोगों से, कौन वे लोग थे जिन्होंने देश के अंदर सनातन धर्म से जुड़े हुए उन मानबिंदुओं को नष्ट करने का काम किया, और क्यों किया था? उसके पीछे की नियत क्या है? उसके पीछे की नियति अपने बर्बर कृत्यों को अंजाम देकर के पूरी धरती को नरक बनाने की साजिश का हिस्सा था, जिसके तहत कभी काशी में काशी विश्वनाथ मंदिर, कभी अयोध्या में श्री राम जन्मभूमि, कभी मथुरा में श्री कृष्ण जन्मभूमि, कभी संभल में कल के अवतार की हरिहर भूमि, कभी भोज में ज्ञान के अधिष्ठात्री देवी मां सरस्वती के पावन मंदिर को नष्ट किया जाता है, तोड़ा जाता है, अपवित्र किया जाता है। इन मंदिरों को तोड़ने से कभी सोमनाथ का मंदिर अपवित्र किया जाता है,
Viewers, he says, in short, we Sanatanis have sheltered and saved others, but are Hindus being sheltered in return? Are their value systems being protected in return? This question is a valid one. As I began by telling you that Sanatan Dharma has been turned into a punching bag, viewers. Here are some examples. Udayanidhi Stalin, Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister, comes out and says Sanatan Dharma is like dengue and malaria and should be eradicated. He was pulled up by the Supreme Court. No action has been taken against him, of course. Rahul Gandhi, leader of the opposition, Ram Temple inauguration ceremony was just a Nach Gana event. Hindus celebrating their civilizational heritage, viewers, is a Nach Gana event. K. Ponmudi, DMK leader. India Alliance was formed to defeat Sanatan Dharma. Viewers. TKS Elangovan, DMK leader, says Ram is just a myth, not historical fact, unquote. Let's write him out. Swami Prasad Maurya, our SSP chief, says, how can Lakshmi be born with 4 hands? Every child born has 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 ears and 2 eyes, unquote. Viewers, it's only Hindu symbols, deities, etc. that are ridiculed. Would any of these people challenge the beliefs of others? No, viewers, they won't. That's because they take advantage of the tolerance of Sanatan Dharma. Nobody has lopped their heads off, viewers, and no one should, and no one will. Chandrasekhar, RJD MLA, I will continue to attack Ramcharitramanas because it contains potassium cyanide. Let him say this about any other holy book, viewers. He won't know which way to face. But the truth is something else. The proponents of Sanatan Dharma have said that there's strict adherence of tolerance. And let me run you through the people who are constantly accused of not following secularism in this country. Let's look at the BJP's constitution. I don't know, viewers, if you've seen it recently, but Article 4 of that constitution says the party shall be committed to nationalism and national integration, democracy, Gandhian approach to socio-economic issues, Sarva Dharma Sambhava, a positive secularism. Veer Savarkar, president of the Hindu Mahasabha, public address 1937. That's what he said. Let the Indian state not recognize any invidious distinction whatsoever as regards the franchise, public services, offices, taxation on the grounds of religion and race. He could be quoting chapter and verse out of the present Indian constitution that the Republic gifted itself. Viewers, in 2006, the RSS distanced itself from Golwalkar's book, We or Our Nationhood Defined. The book does not carry Golwalkar's own views, but was an abridged version of G.D. Savarkar's Rashtra Mimamsa. Bhagwat recommends reading another book brought out by RSS M.S. Golwalkar, His Mission and Vision, that reflect the thoughts of the grown Guru, unquote, viewers. Even the RSS realized that yes, some things that were said from within our ranks may be problematic, so let's look at the real context. And they began to focus on it, and they realized that Golwalkar is being trash-talked, viewers, most of the times. Because as he evolved, his own views changed, became more malleable, more inclusive. Why, viewers? Because he had the DNA of Sanatan Dharma running, coursing through his veins. Hindu Mahasabha Constitution in 1944 said there shall be no state religion for the Hindustan Free State or for any over its provinces, unquote. Viewers, the Muslim population only in India, the only country in the subcontinent where minority populations are growing, is India, viewers. And I'll give you a figure. The PMEAC working paper released in May 2024 shows that Muslim population rose by 43% since 1950. You go to Pakistan, you go to Bangladesh, you see the minority population of Hindus there, where it is today, viewers. You go to Sri Lanka. RSS Mohan Bhagwat, RSS chief, on page 56, Future Bharat, an RSS perspective, said the Sangh is engaged in creating this fraternity and only unity in diversity can be the basis of this fraternity. Viewers, this phrase unity in diversity comes from Nehru, supposedly. Of course, it predates him, but he used it extensively. December 2002, Indresh Kumar of the RSS, very senior Karyakarta, founded the Muslim Rashtriya Manch, the Muslim wing of the RSS, on the occasion of Eid Milan. In fact, these facts tell us that Hindus can never be anything but secular. Why does the ecosystem that calls India unsafe for Muslims because of Sanatan Dharma demand asylum in the same supposedly saffronized India for Muslim refugees fleeing Bangladesh and Pakistan? Because it knows that it is only in India where Muslims will be safe. Also, why do they ignore that it is only in Bharat where Muslim numbers have grown? How can this be so, viewers? Let's open this up. Can Sanatan baiters dispute the question that has been asked today by Yogi Adityanath? That's the fundamental question. And I want to begin first with Khaliqur Rahman, a political analyst, and Tehseen Poonawala. Let's set the stage for this discussion, viewers. Mr. Rahman.
Yes.
Yogi Adityanath has said, do others do more for humanity at large than Sanatan Dharma proponents, propagators? And do Hindus who have done so much to shelter and protect, are they actually getting reciprocation? How do you respond to this, sir?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to all my co-panelists here. In fact, Rahul, this is a very interesting subject which we have been debating for a long time. And very unfortunate that the BJP talks about Sanatan Dharma, but it is the BJP which in fact has been disrespecting Sanatan Dharma. And as far the Congress party is concerned, as far the leaders of the Congress party is concerned, in fact, we have always respected Sanatan Dharma, and anyone who is disrespecting Sanatan Dharma, we consider that as totally unconstitutional. And now coming to what Mr. Yogi Adityanath has said. See, because, he is the chief minister of the largest state of our country, and one should walk the talk. But it is not so in case of Mr. Yogi Adityanath. Right. What he says, he does exactly opposite to that. And see what's been happening, especially in, Uttar Pradesh. And it is nothing, the preparation for the 2027 election. And all these, topics are being rigged up. And, what's happening, we all know. The agenda has already been set, and Sambal is going to become the epicenter of the violence and the agenda for the BJP for the 2027 elections.
Right.
So,
So, Mr. Rahman, you made a very interesting point. Now, first of all, you're talking about Sambal as if you've just stumbled upon it. Actually, the worst instances of communal riots took place in Sambal 2 decades ago. No one ever talked about those. No one even talked about the Muzaffarnagar riots when they happened under SP rule. Anyhow, no one even talked about the fact that under the SP, a family that used to constantly practice their faith at the Gyanvapi mosque basement, the Tay Khana, the Vyas family, was thrown out, locked out of the premises. No one then talked about, sir, secularism khatre mein. And you said that the Congress always respects Sanatan Dharma. You said that, sir. I remember you saying it clearly. Now tell me, sir, did the DMK respect Sanatan Dharma when the Deputy Chief Minister of the state or the scion of the family, the DMK family, came out and said it should be eradicated? And are you not in coalition with them? Did you ever say that, listen, we are pulling out of this equation if you don't apologize? Do you know he has not even been charged? Had he said this about any other faith, supposing he had said it, sir, about Islam, how would it have gone down with you, sir? Do you think Hindus have no feelings?
See, we all believe in inclusivity. And as for the Congress is concerned, as for we are concerned, as for anyone is concerned, we had already distanced ourselves and we never approved what was said by the DMK leader.
No, show me,
which is
sir,
very
where,
much- Sure.
show me one remark made by Rahul Gandhi to say he does
No,
not
wait.
approve. In fact,
No, you
sir,
got- no, no,
in
no,
fact,
see,
in
no,
fact,
no,
in fact, look at what the RJD says.
No, no,
Look at what the
immediately
other
after-
allies have said.
No. Immediately after DMK leader made that remark, in fact, there was an official statement and the communication from the Congress party. Mr. Pawan Kheraji spoke to the media and we distanced ourselves.
Sir,
We always
do
believe
you know
in the
what is
inclusivity.
happening? Do you know
We
what
always
happened
believe in
today? I want to ask you a
respecting. We always
question.
believe in-
I want to ask you a question. In Tamil Nadu today, Annamalai and a large number of BJP leaders were arrested and put into a bus. Why? Because they came out to protest. Those that a few days ago took out a march to mourn the death of a terrorist. Now tell me, sir, in a secular country, should we be mourning the death, celebrating his passing, hailing him, putting him on a pedestal? A terrorist who wants to turn India into, sir, a caliphate, a secular country into a caliphate, should we be celebrating those people? I want to ask you. And those people who come out to protest against those who are doing this, should they be jailed?
Definitely, because you are talking about Basha.
Yes.
Yes, I know. We in fact debated on the other channel the other day. It is a very unfortunate incident. But having said that, I also want to say.
I want to ask you, Mr. Basha, and we can see him there. There's a protest march. Do you support this protest march in favor of him?
Not.
You don't.
Definitely not.
So
Definitely
then viewers tell me. If you
No one
don't,
would-
has
no
the
one- no one
Congress
will
party
support that.
issued a statement? Mr. Khalikur Rahman, you're a senior member of the Congress party. Let's not talk in riddles here. Has Pawan Khera, has the media cell, has the Jairam Ramesh, whoever it is who manages it, have they come out and said this is unacceptable in our country? No, sir.
No, see, everyone knows this is unacceptable because we.
Has there been a statement? Please show it to me. I haven't seen it.
See. Let me tell you, because he died, he in fact was convicted. After that, he came out on a payroll. Then, because of his illness, he died, and his funeral and his last rites were taking in place. And in the meantime, people started gathering there, and the DMK government had to provide the elaborate bandobast, the adequate bandobast there in order to control the law and order situation.
No, why shouldn't they not, these people not have been, no, hang on, this particular,
Yeah.
no, one second,
But
this is a very important point. Khalikur Rahman, let me tell you, sir, let me go back in time. The UPA government did not release the body of a terrorist that they hanged, Afzal Guru, and rightly so, on the execution of the orders of the Supreme Court. They didn't release his body.
Absolutely.
So that he wouldn't be turned into a martyr. So these scenes would not be
Absolutely.
repeated. In
Absolutely.
certain misplaced, in certain quarters of the country where they have a misplaced belief in the Indian constitution.
Yeah.
But sir, I didn't see
Absolutely.
this, and I
That's
haven't
what-
seen the Congress party coming out and condemning the state police
that
for
is-
allowing this procession. Anyhow, look.
That's what I'm coming to. Just allow me to say. In fact, his body should have been sent directly from the hospital to the place of the last.
Yes, sir, but
rites.
you're in
It should not
charge.
have-
You are the running the government. Why wasn't it done?
See, we have different party,
Sir,
partners.
this is the problem. Now, hang on.
No.
Now, hang on. Khalikur Rahman,
Let me
if
complete.
Godse supporters had come out on Godse's birthday to do a big procession, and some of them do, I'm not in favor of that. What do all of you people say? Great. This should not have happened. The state government is responsible. They should have arrested Tehseen Poonawalla. Should they not have arrested? Should they not have stopped? Is this a signal? Is this the commitment of the Congress to upholding Sanatan Dharma and its inclusivity?
Good evening, Rahul. Jai
Good evening.
Samvidhan. Thank you so much for having this show. Rahul, Congress is not in the main government in Tamil Nadu. We're supporting, but the government is Mr. Stalin's. And I do agree with what the earlier panelists said. This funeral was ridiculous. It shouldn't have been allowed to the city. It should have gone the body directly from the graveyard from the hospital to the graveyard. This shouldn't be allowed.
No, but tell me something. A person who murdered Hindus with the express purpose,
Indians. Indians.
No, sir. He made it a very
Indians.
clear. No, no, he made it very clear
There were
about
Indians
the
also
fact.
who died.
No, yes, of course they did. But he made it very clear who his primary targets were. He made it. I mean, let's not argue this case. He's on record.
not arguing the
He is
case. I
not
agree with
repentant
you.
at all. So I'm asking you, sir.
True.
Now I'm asking you. You have been and I salute you for that, a champion of inclusive human rights. So I want to ask you, sir, today. And this is a specific question. How do you think Hindus feel when a person committed to their annihilation, whether it is the Deputy Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu who said eradicate Sanatan Dharma for whatever reasons, and another person, I'm not comparing them and putting them in the same bracket, but it so happens that another person who has been sentenced to life imprisonment for targeting the Hindu community. How is it that, sir, the Congress is silent on both these incidents? I want to ask you, you feel as a patriotic Indian first, forget about Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, as a patriotic Hindu that this is wrong. How is it that the Congress has not taken up a position, and how do you think the Hindu community feels? You tell me.
I think they did take up a position with regards to the first issue by the grandson of Karunanidhi ji, which was a terrible statement. A statement that is not worthy of him being a deputy chief minister. I think they did take it up. And there is one point that you have to notice. All of these people who used language against Sanatan that was not to be used were all privileged kids born with diamond spoons in theirs and spoiled, pampered brats of their fathers. So that's how it was. These were the people who were thinking on another planet who used this kind of language. It is unacceptable. And if this kind of language was used for any other religion, it would lead to being arrested immediately. But what's even
But what
worse is even
happened?
the
The
BJP
state government has
nothing
not done so. The Supreme Court said action should be taken. The Congress has not protested and hit the streets even once. I don't see Priyanka Gandhi Vadra wearing I am Sanatan Dharma t-shirt or carrying an I am Sanatan Dharma bag to say this is unacceptable. Anyhow, let's open this up.
But no, I have one line. Just one line. I am grateful that you have hopes from Srimati Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Because the person who was taking selfies with the father of this boy, pampered boy, and then meeting this pampered boy in his residence was the Honorable Prime Minister of India. Immediately after that statement, the Honorable Prime Minister of India met the pampered boy in his residence and was taking selfies with the father.
Okay, one second.
He invited the father for dinner.
Ajay Alok, the charge against Yogi Adityanath is that he says all these things to polarize society, to create fear in Hindu minds that they are under attack. Quick response, and then I want to bring in Dr. Ranganathan. And please respond to the other statements also that have been made on the show.
See, let's not stick up this to only limited to Uttar Pradesh or limited to a part of the India. This is a pan-global phenomenon. Rahul, if you see, the maximum population right now is of Christianity, that is approximately 2.6 billion. Then comes the Islam, almost around 1.9 billion, and then comes Hinduism. That's 1.3 or 1.4 billion. Now, which is the soft target here? Because we all know that everybody fights for their religion, everybody fights to propagate for their religion, except for Sanatan till now. We have not fought for any propagation of religion, but this is being done in everywhere. The classical example is Lebanon. Once the Paris of East is now an Islamic citadel, what do you call a caliphate? What's happened in Afghanistan, Bangladesh, everywhere is there for us to see. Now, what is the difference in the last 10 years and with the people like Yogi coming up front? They have the audacity to tell this to our people. Earlier, it was all kept in curtains. Bolna nahi hai, bolna nahi hai. Secularism khatre mein aa jayega. No. Hindu, Muslim, no, don't say. Why we shouldn't say? This has been happening. And this has been happening for long years. And our politicians, for the sake of this secularism, for the heck of secularism, and for their appeasement policy, kept on promoting it. I don't blame Muslims at all for that. The radical Muslims are not to be blamed. They are being fed by bread and butter by these politicians who just keep quiet. People here in Bihar, RJD, Sanatan abusing Ramcharitmanas, like what we have seen in DMK. It's not a matter of north or south divide also. This is fueling the process. They are fueling Islam here. And this is the dangerous trend. And this is what is troubling everybody.
Okay.
This is troubling other religion also. It's not only limited to Hinduism.
Just one question to the learned BJP spokesman. Just one question. I accept every single thing he's saying. I accept it. How long are we going to come on Rahul Shiv Shankar's show and discuss it? On certain calls, on certain actions that are national interest, including Sir Tanse Juda, why don't you pass laws that make these terrorist slogans? You don't want to do it.
But Tehseen Poonawala, should the onus always be on the Hindu community?
No, on the government. I'm not talking
to be
Ajay Bhai.
responsible for communal
No,
amity
I'm
in this
talking
country.
as
Are we
government.
always going to
No.
now constantly
I'm sorry, I'm talking about the
buttonhole?
government.
No, pigeonhole, buttonhole
It's
the
a
Hindu
government's
community.
job.
Those
No.
people who speak for Hindu interests. How about telling
No.
this to How about telling this to Muslims also, that they should stand up?
agree.
They should stand
I
up in
agree.
large numbers in opposition to their fringe, just like Hindus do in opposition to their own fringe. Where is that happening, sir? You know that
It is
every
happening.
case
People
that
like
is
me do
fought
it.
in this country for Muslim rights is fought by Hindu lawyers. You show
true,
me one
including
case.
for mob
You
lynching.
show me one case, sir. 1 minute. Tehseen Purana, you now tell me.
Yeah,
Since
I agree with you.
since Yogi Adityanath and Dr. Ranganathan is here, since Yogi Adityanath came out and said, do people reciprocate our tolerance? And Karan is also here with us. And so is Arun Anand. I want to bring them all in now. The onus is always, Dr. Ranganathan, onus is always put on Hindus. Yogi Adityanath has asked a very simple question. Is he valid in asking this question, or is he playing once again to the Hindu saffron galleries? Yes. Dr. Ranganathan, can you hear me? Yeah.
Hello, good evening, Rahul. Look, being a Darwinian atheist, I keep repeating this. I have no skin in the game, but this much I know. Hinduism has survived 8 millennia because it imbibes the scientific virtues of diversity, empathy, independent thought, and reform. In Hinduism, religion is an offshoot of the way of life, while in Abrahamic ideologies, way of life is an offshoot of religion. So it follows that the former is less shackled by rigidity or by rules and diktats and is more mutatable, celebrating diversities of its followers. As always, the source, the fountainhead, dictates the mutatability and eagerness to change. In Hinduism, there are sects that promote and celebrate atheism, Charvaks. There are sects that reject Vedas altogether, Lingayats. How gloriously ironical is that? Rejecting your holy scriptures and yet being proud Hindus? Can this happen in any other religion? Hinduism is an all-accepting, all-questioning idea. So Yogi is absolutely right. But let me be clear. If we want to save India, we have to save Hinduism. For how long can the Indian state fight hands tied? And to those who claim we are now living in a totalitarian Hindu Rashtra, one must ask, what kind of a Hindu Rashtra is this, where 1 billion strong Hindus have been through our parliament, courts, education system and our constitution reduced to not just second class but rather 8th class citizens, where one can settle 40,000 Rohingya Muslims but not 700,000 Kashmiri Hindus, the land's original inhabitants, where the judiciary says not once but twice that it is too late to prosecute those who raped, murdered and ethnically cleansed Hindus. What kind of Hindu Rashtra is this, Rahul, where Hindu temples are exclusively controlled by the state and Hindus must beg for Waqf land to celebrate their festivals, where the Right to Education Act discriminates only against Hindus and their schools, forcing thousands of them to shut down, where genocidal monsters like Aurangzeb and Tipu are eulogized through state-sponsored publications, naming of roads and organizing of festivals, where a law was about to be enacted by the Congress through which only the Hindus would have been held guilty in a communal riot even if they were in a minority, for example in Kashmir, where court judgments like the Sabrimala and legislative enactments like the Hindu Code Bill purport to reform only Hindu religious practices but dare not touch practices of other religions. And if they do, their decisions are promptly reversed like in the Shah Bano case. What kind of Hindu Rashtra is this, where the Places of Worship Act continues to deny Hindus their legitimate right to correct historical injustices, while the Waqf Act gives overarching powers to Muslims to declare a 1500-year-old Hindu temple to be on Islamic land when Islam is only 1300 years old? I'm sorry, but all religions are not the same, Rahul. This Sarva Dharma Sambhav is the Kool-Aid that we and 1 billion others have been forced to gulp down for generations. It has guilt-tripped us into a downward spiral of self-loathing. Please understand, for India to survive as a plural, all-accepting land, Hinduism and Hindus must survive. And they will not, as long as we have legislations that discriminate against Hindu temples, Hindu schools, Hindu rights, Hindu refugees and Hindu history. Predictably, there would be millions who would oppose this, for they want discrimination against Hindus to continue.
Yes.
This is the means to an end that the religion demands from them in return for heavenly rewards. They will seed and sprout 1,000 Shaheen Baghs. They will block roads, light up campuses, write column yards here and abroad. Let them. we must stand up to them. The time is right now and here, Rahul.
Well, Yogi
Yep.
Adityanath,
Right now and right here.
Yogi Adityanath is taking charge of the narrative. Karan Verma, let me ask you, when hate mongers like Yati Narsinhanand spoke ill of Muslims, it was Hindus like you and me and others who stood up and said he should be prosecuted. I want to ask you, today you have individuals who are walking in massive processions. I don't mean today as in like now. I'm saying 2 days ago in Tamil Nadu. Those are the pictures. Have Muslim brethren, have the Muslim community members, the leaders come out and said, this is not in our name, this should not be happening?
That will never happen, Rahul, because we must address the core issue at hand. When you have predatory instincts, when you have instincts where you believe that you are holier than thou, and simply for your way of worship, you will be condemned to hell for eternity, then that is where the hatred stems from. And we have political parties. We take the example of Basha. Leave aside the Congress condemning. Let's trace our memories back to what happened back then. Sitaram Kesari, who was the president, said, अगर ढंग से किया होता अडवाणी मर गए होते इसमें, ये तो आरएसएस ने किया है. That is what he said. And this Basha person, who was he associated with? He was associated with Tamil Nadu Muslim Munetra Kazhagam, which was an ally of the Congress party. They were together in this. So this is the kind of patronage he's received. In 2006, in the Kerala Assembly, there was a unanimous resolution passed for the parole of Madani, who was an accused in the Coimbatore blast. This is the kind of patronage, the support the Congress party, a mainstream political party, has given for the sake of Muslim appeasement. We live in a time where if we don't buckle up, if we don't dig our heels in, we will be taken up. Let's understand, Sanatan is the only thing that is standing between complete standardization, between complete centralization of power with the clergy. It is the only faith which accepts everyone, as Dr. Ranganathan said, be it homosexuals, be it people of different faiths or no faiths at all. And even when we talk of secularism, of our democracy, of our constitution, where does it stem from? Ekam sat vipraha bahuda vadanti. Truth is one. We can seek it by different ways. Show me one faith other than Sanatam, one verse in any other book which says all paths can lead to God. They all condemn the other path to hell and to eternal fire. That is what the problem is. We must address this issue. We must address this radicalization.
Well, I want to bring in Arun Anand Sahab. You know, Nalanda, one of the great seats of knowledge, greatest library in the world at its time, was destroyed by Bhaktiar Khilji. We all know this. Ironically, Arun Anand, there is a railway station, the only one to access Nalanda, which is named after Bhaktiar Khilji. Have Muslims themselves said, actually, this is a blight? We should change the name. Has the Congress party that ruled Bihar, and I presume you're from there, I got this impression at one time, maybe I'm wrong, but has anyone from there, the so-called secular liberal party, said, actually, this is wrong, we would never have a Hitler street or a Hitler station in Israel, this is not the way? No.
Rahul, first that I'm from Delhi.
Delhi, sorry.
And yeah. So see, the thing is that we have to live with the Muslims in this country because there are 20 crore plus Muslims.
Absolutely.
The problem is that Muslims do not have a progressive leadership. It's a crisis of leadership. The radicals, who have always been basically, they have been promoted by Congress rule right since 1947 onwards. So they promoted radical leadership. The progressive leadership, like people like Arif Muhammad Khan, they had to move out of Congress. Most of the progressive Muslim leaders, so they could not, work in Congress, and they had to move out. Also, what Congress did right from the 1950 onwards was that it ensured that the state is biased against Hindus. I'll give you 3 examples of that. One is that Purushottam Das Tandon, PM also raised recently, but Purushottam Das Tandon, who was basically a Hindu nationalist, you can say, or a pro-Sanatan Dharma leader.
And he became the president of the party in 1950.
So he defeated Nehru's candidate in the presidential election of Congress, and Nehru did not allow him to work and threatened to walk out of Congress working committee, because of which Purushottam Das Tandon had to resign. The second pro-Sanatan leader was K.M. Munshi. He also had to move out of Congress, and he formed Swatantra Party. If you look at a speech made by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, about a month after his resignation. The speech is on 22nd November 1951 at Mumbai. So there he says that Nehru did not allow Harijans in Pakistan to come to India, and because of that they had to stay there and they had to convert to Islam. So these are just some of the, and as Anand had mentioned, the 1980 the 2014 anti communal violence bill. So they ensured that the state is biased basically against Hindus, and that is why it is reflecting in that this railway station is still, not only this railway station is still named after Bakhtiar Khilji, but there
Several
are
other
lots
things.
of other things. So
Yeah.
the state apparatus has been perverted so much, and
Okay.
it will take a long time to
Rahul,
make
I'd like to
process.
come in.
So the people who did it may not be in power, but the system is in place. Tehseen
Rahul.
Punala, and that's the problem. You tell me, Tehseen, I love you for the fact that you're progressive and you have the guts to take a progressive stand. But I want to ask you, in all earnestness, forget about this whole debate about, oh, we should not, revisit history and this, that, the other. Bhaktiyarpur station, should it even be a station in this country? Simple question to you. And if it is, why? Why is it there? And if Yogi tomorrow moves to change it, or Nitish Kumar moves to change it, he'll be called communalist, Hindu,
Come on,
saffron.
Rahul. You're making. Come on, Rahul. I have so much respect for you.
Yeah.
But Nitish Kumar ji has been railway minister for now as many years as possible. He's been chief minister of Bihar, and so has the BJP been in government except for a brief period with Tejaswi and Congress. There's been the BJP government out there and in the union.
Yeah,
11
okay.
years
So
the
tell
current Prime
me.
Minister.
The BJP should do
Is
this.
the
What is
BJP
it?
is the BJP not acting because they are scared of Tehseen Punala? Is the Prime Minister not acting because of that? That kind of look. Even earlier on, you made a question that whose responsibility is to protect. It is the responsibility of the government of India to protect.
Okay.
Beyond religion, beyond faith. If the government is failed, like keep telling you,
Right.
they should resign.
Okay,
This is the
they should
government
quit.
that runs away from faith in Parliament.
Okay,
They've
viewers,
failed us.
Tehseen Punala has put his cards out. Now, the reason I was asking these questions is because Khaliqur Rahman Saab came up with the first question when he said, Congress always respects Sanatan Dharma. Viewers, who was ruling the center of this country for 50 years? It was the Congress party. If they respected Sanatan Dharma to the extent that they suggest, a simple gesture of removing that name, forget about anything else, forget about giving back temples, forget about anything else, viewers, even expediting the Ayodhya case, they would have just said there is one horrible abomination and it sticks out at everybody, and it is that name, Bhaktiyarpur station. Let's at least remove that. But viewers, that also hasn't done. So they have said, let the BJP do it. Why? Because the BJP supposedly speaks for Hindu interests, so it's their job. We don't. That's what I'm getting a sense of from all of this. Anyhow, viewers, very quickly, Ajay Alok, 30 seconds, because you are from Bihar, JDU is in power, BJP is in power. Yes.
I'll give you a small glimpse.
Yeah.
What actually is happening, and which is very frightening for all of us sitting here. More than 200 districts of India, Hindus are getting outnumbered. They are minorities. Muslims are not minorities. We talk of Kashmir genocide very nicely, but we conveniently forget somehow what happened in 1978, 72, from 1945, where the population of 45% went up to 85% till now, and Hindus have gone less than 15%. Where the Hindus left? We forget Kerala, where they were forceful.
No, so
I have a question. I have a question.
I don't want to. One second. Ajay. No, Ajay, look, I don't want to get into this population replacement, all of this, till we don't have hard data. This is a lot of it, yes, I understand where it's coming from. Now, let's wait for the census. Let's not jump the gun. A lot of this is not happening because, viewers, there is, as some people say, a kind of jihad that is being waged called population jihad. I don't buy into all these theories. A lot of this bump in the number of Muslims in this country is also happening because of illegals coming into this country. So let's learn to differentiate, and it still doesn't mean that the Hindus will be put to the sword, etc., etc. That apprehension we need to sort of get rid of. We need to be balanced. The fact is that the communities who live, and I just want to evoke Begum Aijaz Rasool in the Constituent Assembly. Back then, in the debates, and she said that minorities must also learn to trust the majority. Without that, we cannot have unity in diversity. She put the onus equally on Muslims and other minorities. When will that time come in our country, viewers? I don't know. I hope it does quickly. Yogi Adityanath has at least sparked the debate, and we had one, productive one. Luckily, there was no recrimination, shouting, etc. So we can all pat ourselves on the back for being mature about this. Viewers, let's move on. And I want to ask a fundamental question tonight. Can one life be less valuable than the other? The answer is a firm, definitive no. The reason this question is being posed by me is because Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, who has no qualms about championing the human rights of Palestinians, she's within her rights to do so, appeared to have balked at similarly standing in solidarity for the victims of the 1984 anti-Sikh riots that rocked the capital. How do we know this? Because Vadra was put to the test by a BJP woman MP called Aparijita Sarangi. Miss Sarangi, who noticed that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra was using bags to draw attention to causes, decided to hand her one with the words 1984 inscribed across it. There you can see her, viewers, on the left of your screens in the red overcoat. She's approaching Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, who's in the black overcoat with blue sleeves. But as you can see, Vadra takes the bag. There is the white bag, she takes it and she tucks it away into the folds of her overcoat. She's not displaying it. Listen in to Aparijita Sarangi first. And she said it's a fashion to display causes on bags. We wanted to give Priyanka Vadra this bag. This bag calls for justice for Sikhs killed in the 84 riots. We all know who were behind the riots. We want to give her this bag on behalf of the BJP, the NDA and the nation. She should wear this bag. If she can do it for Palestine, she can do it for the 1984 riot victims, unquote. Now, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra certainly didn't want to be seen championing a cause that the Congress wants to forget. Now, here are some hard facts, viewers, on why the Congress would much rather be not reminded of the anti-Sikh riots, and they'll come up on your screens. But I want to open this up to a conversation. Remember, viewers, time after time, Congress netas have been implicated in the anti-Sikh riots of 84. The latest was in November 2018 when key prosecution witness Chamkor identified Congress leader Sajjan Kumar. He's in jail now. But this case would not have been opened had it not been for the BJP government. In August 2024, Delhi trial court said there was enough proof to charge Congress leader Jagdish Taitla in the 84 riot case. He's still out, viewers. Very much part of the Congress, holding top offices, had even become minister. Tarlochan Singh, then President Zail Singh's press secretary, in an interview alleged that Rajiv Gandhi did not answer the president's repeated calls during the riots. And Rajiv Gandhi is on record saying, "Jab koi bada ped girta hai, dharti hilti hai," in a speech that many say came across as justifying the pogrom. The Nanavati Commission investigating the riots found that affidavits filed before the commission generally state that Congress leaders, workers were behind these riots. So there's a lot of reasons. Let's open this up. Let me first bring in Aparijita Sarangi. And I want to begin with you, Ms. Sarangi, and ask you a simple number of questions. And in fact, it would be nice if you could be part of our panel also. So I want to ask you, and this is an important question. Was your move to go up to Priyanka Gandhi Vadra premeditated, thought out carefully, or was it instinctive, off the cuff? What happened there? Yes.
No, I had taken the bag. In fact, we have been seeing her taking the bag to various places. Yeah. And different kinds of writings were there on her bag from time to time. So today was the last day of the parliament and just decided that, we should present a bag to her. Yeah. So I took this bag and while she was coming, I got up the staircase and handed over the bag to her. And she took it. She did not realize what it was written inside because it was folded, and then thereafter she saw she was extremely uncomfortable. But I had already given her the bag, and then I came out. That's it.
No, so how did she act?
So she was very uncomfortable, quite angry, but she did.
Okay, but was she surprised, or discomforted because she was surprised, or because she was just caught off guard? What happened there?
Uncomfortable, I would say, not surprised, uncomfortable. And then, that angry look was there But by that time, I think I just told her that, this is our gift to you, and then I came out.
Okay, I'll let you go, Ms. Sarangi. I know that you have other things to attend to. You mentioned that. Thank you very much for speaking to me. Let's open this up, viewers. Let's have a little bit of a debate on this issue. The differentiation in her reaction. We are talking about Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Let me first begin with Tehseen Poonawalla as also Ramneek Singh Mann. Now, Mr. Mann, are you surprised that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra hasn't brought a bag so far, or even when she was presented this bag of 1984, a reminder, she sort of tucked it away. She didn't say, okay, I'll wear it, show it to the camera, say, I'm very proud to hold this bag, etc., etc. And I will be wearing it in the next few parliamentary sessions. She just whisked away, and according to Aparichita Sarangi, looked discomforted. You heard the adjectives that were used. Ramneek Mann.
Yeah. So my first reaction was, a good thing that somebody actually brought it to their face and confronted them after a very long time. As a matter of fact, 1984 Sikh genocide or the killings of Sikhs is something that the Congress always wanted to wash off. As a matter of fact, if you go by the court statements and the disclosure of Jagdish Tytler in the court, he clearly mentioned that he and Rajiv Gandhi himself had visited certain areas, and circumstantial evidence proves that wherever Rajiv Gandhi and Jagdish Tytler had visited, those areas, you'd see a spike, a sudden rise in violence, in the killings. So, if her father, his hands are sunk in the blood of Sikhs, and it's a 1984 bag where you can see it in red color and literally blood dripping off 1984. It'll of course make her uncomfortable because truth when confronted, and I feel what I can see on her face is literally guilty consciousness probably of a sort. So as far as Congress is concerned, they are leaders of time, whether it was Sajjan Kumar, Jagdish Tytler, HKL Bhagat, or it's a very long list. They were all in the race of trying to please the then Prime Minister of India, Rajiv Gandhi, who was complicit in all possible ways and manners in the killings of Sikhs. And like you rightly said in your intro, he had actually substantiated his stand by saying, जब एक बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो धरती हिलती है, और जब धरती हिलती है तो सिखों के घरों में टायर डाल के
let me bring in.
Aparajita should have given her a tire, as a matter of fact.
Okay, I understand. I know the symbolic value of the tire also. In fact, I was old enough to see what happened around me, and I still cannot get over it. Of course, we were all to experience it again in Kashmir, but that apart, I want to bring in Tehseen Poonawalla. Look, her reaction is a matter of subjective analysis, whether she was, affronted, angry, aggressive, or she was sheepish, or she was embarrassed, or she was uncomfortable. I can't say. That's a matter completely of subjective opinion. But tell me something, Tehseen Poonawalla, you know Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. She calls herself a humanist. She's holding up the Palestinian thing. Okay, fine. She might have been surprised, a bit taken aback by this gesture or this gift, or call it what you want to. She was upstage, doorstepped, whatever. But when she came out, she could have easily sat in the car or brought this out and wore it and said, look, I actually am very glad that this bag has been given to me. This gives me an opportunity to empathize, as I have been with Palestinians, also with Sikhs who are victims of a pogrom. But she didn't. She tucked it away, and that was the end of it. We haven't seen her, heard from her, nothing, not even a statement.
There are two parts that I want to come to, and you're right, it's very subjective what the Honorable MP said about what Priyanka Gandhi Vadra ji felt. That's subjective and that can't be a cause of debate. But there are two parts to it. It shows what a dignified lady she is. And I know her personally, you know that. And she's extremely dignified and classy. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra ji enjoys the same level of security as the Honorable Home Minister of India, Amit Shah ji. Exactly the same. Can you imagine somebody walking up to Amit Shah ji and even being able to talk to him from the opposition or hand over something to him?
That's a matter of subjective assessment.
No, they would push the security.
Again, very subjective.
But let me make a second point. Let me make my point. Look,
Mr.
Mann, I never interrupted. Mr. Mann, I never interrupted you. Let us have a
okay, let's not get personal. Okay.
I'm not interested in having a tutu meme with you. Kindly calm down. Thank you. There is a second issue. Mr. Maan lied on your TV. Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, late martyr Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi's speech never said, therefore, tires can be taken out in foot. You cannot add words into a speech that is purely defamatory.
I
And the
didn't say
speech
that.
was said, and those.
He didn't say that. He said instead a tire should have been given. He said in
No,
order
he said
bag,
you are
a
lying.
tire should have been given.
And
Anyhow,
then said the tire.
You're a liar.
Now let me put the third. Now let me put the third and the most important point. With regards to the 1984 pogrom, the massacre of our Sikh fellow citizens, one of the most terrible chapters in the history of our country, along with the Kashmir genocide of our Kashmiri Pandit brothers. The Honorable Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, on the floor of the House has apologized. Mr. Sonia Gandhi in Chandigarh has offered regrets. I haven't seen regrets from the BJP for any of the massacres they have been involved in. In fact,
one second, we are not even talking about that, sir. We are not getting into the apology question. We are not even asking for an apology. On this show, we were only saying appropriate another symbol of another cause. Why you didn't think necessary to do so is a question that we are asking on a very palpable and unambiguous action by Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. She took the bag and took it away. Anyhow, Alok Verma. One second, Mr. Maan. Let me open this up. 1 second. Alok Verma. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Ajay Alok, sorry. Please go ahead. Sorry.
Well, Rahul,
sorry.
I know it always feels bitter when you get a taste of your own medicine.
Yeah.
In your pursuit of delivering message every day, the competition between brother and sister, that who makes the mockery of the parliament more, sometimes by making films and reels in the parliament, by doing mockery, Rahul Gandhi makes some leads. Now, she also wanted to make leads. So for the last 2 days when she was carrying a bag for Palestine, it was very nice, yes, Palestine bag. Then for Bangladesh, Hindus and Isais stand with them, very good. I was surprised today she was not carrying anything from Manipur. So today she got a very good taste of her own medicine when she was presented with 1984. And why she was ashamed that she tucked it away. She should have carried it in the parliament. Then I would have agreed that yes, he is graceful and she has full dignity, that she can accept that yes, it was fault and we should stand with them. But they never had the audacity to say even that what we did is wrong and we still stand with the Sikh of this country. They will not say. This is the problem. Hypocrisy is this. But she got a taste of her own medicine, and it sounds, and it must be very bitter, I'm sure.
But Karan Verma, the Congress should always turn around and say, look, we were elected back in Punjab, and clearly the Sikhs don't think of us as those that were part of this conspiracy to attack them, etc., etc. So they're justified. But yes, nonetheless, that doesn't mean that you tuck away a bag, does it? Which carries an important message.
Nothing can ever justify what happened in 1984, Rahul, and those wounds continue to fester. And in fact, their continued lack of empathy towards the Sikhs. I mean, they were pretty much patronizing Jagdish Titler till very late. I mean, he was still a part of their committees. He was still a part of many of their campaign committees. And for Rahul Gandhi, earlier this year when he went to US, what did he say? The question is, the fight in India is, will our Sikh brother be allowed to wear a turban? I mean, passing such a statement for our Sikh brothers, this is the kind of statement Rahul Gandhi passed this year. So, time and again, they've showed their insensitivity, and Priyanka Vadra has rightly represented her constituency. She understands that this is the bag of vote bank politics that she carries. 70% of her constituency, perhaps she believes at least, patronizes this cause, stands for this cause of the Palestinians. That is why we had an online rally of sorts for the Hamas. It was in Kerala where that happened. So, Priyanka Vadra has made it very clear. They are digging deep, digging their heels in on minority appeasement. It may have cost them elections, but they still believe this is what their constituency is, and they'll continue to be a Muslim party,
if Rahul Gandhi spoke so passionately about Sikh interests in the US, here was an opportunity for his sister to have championed them. I don't know why she didn't take it, viewers.
Rahul, one line, just one line.
Yes.
The Congress gave a Sikh Prime Minister.
Yes.
It gave a Sikh Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate the Congress.
Mr. Maan wants to come in. Mr. Maan, on that point, we got elected, we gave a Sikh Prime Minister.
I don't want to get into a tutu meme with you. He named me, so Rahul has asked me to speak, I'll speak. So you speak in your turn. Number one, the Bhishma Pitama of the Congress, the Gandhi family, Sam Pitroda, was very clear in his thought when he said, hua to hua. That was very graceful, right? That was very, very graceful. Understood? Two, Rajiv Gandhi very clearly, and that's what I said, Tehseen. Hello, listen clearly now. Rajiv Gandhi clearly said that जब एक बड़ा पेड़ गिरता है तो धरती हिलती है. So how can you say now, after so many years. Have you ever visited Tilak Nagar? Do you know the significance of Tilak Nagar? You say it's a blot on the Indian history. Yes, of course, not just the Indian history, but the mankind. There have been wars. There have been wars, civilizational wars. But there is no colony called a widow colony anywhere in the world. It is for the Congress party and it's on the Gandhi family.
Well,
that
viewers,
we have a widow colony which is no parallel, which has no parallel in the world.
Today was
That's
an
your
important
gift to the country. That's the
today was an
block.
important occasion for the Gandhis themselves, this generation, to say never in our name again. They could have just taken that back, come out, posed with it, put out Instagram photos, this, that, say thank you to the BJP MP Aprituja Sarangi. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. Yes, we have something to say about it. Here we are. This is what it is. Anyhow, viewers, I leave it at that. Palki Sharma with the Vantage coming up. Don't go away.
RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat has spoken again on the Mandir Masjid disputes in the country. Mr. Bhagwat said that some individuals following the construction of the Ram temple in Ayodhya are under the impression that they can become leaders of Hindus by raking up such disputes. This is unacceptable, Mr. Bhagwat has said. To quote him, every day a new matter or a dispute is being raked up. How can this be allowed? This cannot continue. The RSS chief said that the world needs to be shown that the country can live together in harmony. By building the Ram temple, which is a matter of faith of Hindus, one does not become a Hindu leader. This is what Mr. Bhagwat is saying. He said Ram temple is a matter of faith for Indians, and under the burden of the past, we should not resort to extreme hatred, malice, enmity, and after raising doubts, we should not rake up new issues. Mr. Bhagwat said that the Ram temple was a matter of faith and Hindus felt that it should be built. But raising issues about some news sites out of hate and enmity is unacceptable. Well, this is not the first time Mohan Bhagwat has spoken on this particular issue. In 2022, Bhagwat had said it was not proper to escalate communal fights. Why look for a shivling in every masjid? Mohan Bhagwat had then said, addressing a ceremony in Nagpur. This was in light of the Gyanvapi issue, which Bhagwat said involves some issues of faith and the court's decision on it should be acceptable by all. He also advised everyone involved in the Gyanvapi mosque case to sit together and find a way with mutual consent. But also there was no need to find a shivling in every mosque and start a new dispute every day. This is what Mohan Bhagwat's stand has been. He said that the RSS had already made it clear that its participation in the Ayodhya agitation was an exception and for historical reasons, and RSS had now completed it. Bhagwat said, now we don't want to lead any movement. Well, the RSS chief's statement has made the opposition take pot shots at the BJP and say that though Bhagwat is giving sound advice, no one is listening to him in the BJP. Bhagwat's latest comments are also significant as they come just after the Supreme Court has put a stay on any decisions on new surveys or petitions in Mandir Masjid disputes till next February. This was after the moves of the lower courts on Sambhal and the Ajmer Sharif issue had brought the focus of political attacks on the former Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, for opening the floodgates for such petitions and surveys of various religious sites in the country. First, the All India Muslim Personal Law Board and then the Samajwadi Party targeted Justice Chandrachud for a decision last year by a bench headed by him which allowed an ASI survey of the Gyanvapi premises in Varanasi. The SP said that decision by Chandrachud was a bad one, a wrong one. It has opened the floodgates for many more surveys and the Supreme Court must take cognizance and stop such petitions and surveys in the country's interest. On this petition, it is the one in fact which the Supreme Court has now put a stay earlier this month on any fresh surveys till the Supreme Court decides on the matter by February. The Muslim Personal Law Board also issued a statement on the same lines earlier, blaming the Chandrachud-led bench for softening his stance and allowing a survey at Gyanvapi. During the Babri Masjid case, the Supreme Court referred to the Places of Worship Act 1991 and said no new claims could be entertained after the enactment of this law that specified that the status of any place of worship as on August 15, 1947 shall remain unchanged and cannot be challenged. The Muslim Personal Law Board went on to refer to the Chandrachud bench order last year, saying, yet when the lower court accepted the claim on the Gyanvapi mosque, the Muslim side approached the Supreme Court, arguing that such a claim should not be entertained given the Places of Worship Act. The court, however, then softened its stance and allowed the survey, stating it did not violate the 1991 law. Well, this is what has led to subsequent claims on the Shahi Eidgah in Mathura, Tilewali Masjid in Lucknow, and now the Jama Masjid in Sambhal and Ajmer Sharif. The SC had to step in earlier this month to stop any such surveys till it decides on the matter. Mohan Bhagwat's latest statement, however, seems at odds with what the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said later on Tuesday. He said that temples of Hindus have been destroyed time and again in Kashi Vishwanath Dham, in the Krishna Janmbhumi, in the Ram Janmbhumi in Ayodhya, in Sambhal at Kalki Avatar's Hariraj Bhumi, and in Bhojpur. The UP Chief Minister has said, citing the Hindu temple names at these sites which have mosques right now. This controversy is not going to die down anytime soon because Mohan Bhagwat is making his mind known. But on the other hand, you have the UP Chief Minister who is also making it very clear that this is a matter of faith, be it in Mathura, be it in Sambhal, or be it in Ayodhya and Varanasi as well as Bhojpur. And this is what is escalating the tensions, and this is what is escalating the divide, I would say, in the political lineup on the issue of the Mandir Masjid disputes. RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat has spoken again on the Mandir Masjid disputes in the country. Mr. Bhagwat said that some individuals following the construction of the Ram temple in Ayodhya are under the impression that they can become leaders of Hindus by rigging up such disputes. This is unacceptable, Mr. Bhagwat has said. To quote him, every day a new matter or a dispute is being rigged up. How can this be allowed? This cannot continue. The RSS chief said that the world
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. Tonight we focus on Russia's defense industry, strategically very important for Moscow and a big source of manufacturing jobs. But almost 3 years of war have left it stretched. Global sales are plunging, global customers are leaving. We'll bring you the numbers and the implications. Also an update